In this tutorial, we will learn how text layers work in Cavalry. So before we start, I just want to mention that this tutorial is more on a workflow and approach side. I prepared a number of examples which will hopefully help me explain how to modify, for example, individual characters within the text inside Cavalry, whether on a single text layer or in a duplicator. Feel free to download the project file from the Gumroad store so you can follow along or explore all the other examples I created in your own time. All of the things I'll be talking about are mentioned on the Cavalry documentation page, things like text layer properties, how the shapes are structured, and what is the submesh and how to use it. But sometimes it's easier to explore all of these concepts through a few small exercises. So let's get started. I need to create a simple text layer and we need a slightly longer text. So the one thing I will change is the box size so we can see it better. So we have a single text layer. And as you can see with the Mesh Explorer, is made up of number of characters, which are located on level 3, words which are located on level 2, so this thing wraps around all the characters, and individual lines which are located on level 1. So one thing to note is if I change the text box size to be automatic, then the mesh will auto-update itself, and as you can see now, all the words are located on the same single level 1. We don't have 2 lines at this stage. So let's go back to 2-line setup, and here's the thing. So let's say I want to add a gradient to this layer. So let's add a gradient shader, and I'm going to use 3 colors: blue, green, and red. So what is happening now is that gradient is being applied per character. If you want to apply the gradient to the whole layer, you can do something called flatten shape layers. You can add this modifier, and as you can see, gradient is now equally applied to the entire text box rather than single characters. And if we refresh the Mesh Explorer, you can see that this layer flattened entire text layer into a single mesh. So this could be useful in some certain setups, but let's remove it and let's add a submesh to this text layer. And now let's select fill on a submesh and take this checkbox. As you can see, the submesh will override all the color changes of this text layer. So we have to remove the shader from the underlying text layer because we don't need it. And we're gonna use this shader inside a submesh. So here's how you can control how shader is applied to a mesh. You can do this with changing the level mode from characters to words, and nothing happens because we have to actually flatten this mesh at this level, at the level 3. And let's preview this on our Mesh Explorer, and as you can see, all the words are flattened into individual meshes. So now we have gradient applied from this side all the way to the end of the word, and this repeats for every single word in this layer. If you change this to line, then the same thing happens as before. Cavalry will flatten the meshes into the lines. As you can see, we have now 2 lines rather than 4 words. And interestingly, the gradient is being applied from this end all the way to the end of the mesh, but on the second line, it carries on all the way here. So the gradient is slightly different. And finally, if you want to apply gradient evenly across entire mesh, we can switch it to all. And as you can see, the gradient is applied to the entire text box at this time, and the Mesh Explorer shows only single layer. So I'm going to switch the level mode back to words, and let's say I want to apply gradient only to a specific word. So the way to do this is by actually using shader array. Shader array works like any other arrays. You can simply add extra indices here and populate it with shaders. For some reason, Cavalry does not have all of these shaders available to add quickly through this right-click menu here. So you will have to look for the shader using this quick search bar. For example, if you want to add noise. So I'm going to drop this shader to the field number 1. As you can see, the gradient is applied to every other word. So here and here, we can add a color shader and, for example, make it like super pink and drop it onto the first shader. So this way we'll override the color inside the submesh with this color over here. So let's say we want to specify that the gradient should be applied only to the first word. The way we can do this is by utilizing the index on our shader array. So let's add a comparison node to the index field. And the first field, we need to add index context. Now, index context will grab the index of each layer, and by using the comparison node, we can set up a logic gate which will allow us to pick the word we want to apply the gradient to. And now let's go back to the submesh and change words to characters. Go back to comparison node, and now we can apply gradient per character. So what is happening is that essentially we are limiting our effect to a specific character. And this does not have to end only on color. We can change something like position. For example, let's add a value array to position Y, add another field, and now if I move it, maybe 100 pixels, everything is offset up. So we are going to do the same trick as before. Simply use comparison node and use index context from the index context layer. And we can change this to maybe equal to. And again, I get to control which layer is offset up with a simple number. And if I change this to less than or equal to, we can select more characters. So by utilizing levels mode and comparison node, I can easily change the appearance of our text on per character, word or line basis. Now I'm going to duplicate this layer and call it range. And I will show you a slightly different approach. And what we're going to do is delete comparison and index nodes on both setups. Go back to shader array. Right click, add value. Change the value to 1. So we are targeting this shader, the gradient itself. Now everything has a gradient. But what we can do now is add range falloff to value. And this will allow us to target specific characters based by their range. And we can do the same thing with the value array index, which we apply to the position property. Add a range falloff and decide which character gets shifted upwards. So with this method of using an array and a value node or comparison node, you can add all sorts of effects to any of the properties and limit them to which meshes they apply to. Now let's duplicate this composition again, and I'm going to call it text inside duplicator. I need to delete everything and just leave the text on its own. Let's change the font size to something smaller and going to resize the text box so we still have 2 lines. And now I'm going to put this text inside a duplicator. Change the Y to 2 because we don't need that many copies. And let's see what is happening with the text once you put it inside Duplicator. If you look at the Mesh Explorer, you will notice that the characters now, they are not on level 3 as before, but rather on level 4. Words are on level 3 and entire lines are on level 2. So by putting text inside Duplicator, we are shifting the hierarchy a bit. So this is something to keep in mind. So now let's add a submesh to Duplicator. Now, if you have a look at the box around every single letter, you will notice that Cavalry is giving us an indicator of the mesh bounding box inside the Duplicator itself. So right now, text inside Duplicator is built from individual meshes. But if I change this to level 3 and flatten it, you will see that bounding boxes change. Now they have wrapped up around words. And if we go up a level to level 2, now they have wrapped around individual lines. And once again, go one level up to 1 to 1. And now each group of meshes is its own shape. And this is reflected in the Mesh Explorer as well. Do 2 and 2. Select it again, and now we have individual lines. And this time we've got individual words. So text inside Duplicator behaves a little bit differently. But we can still affect it as before. I'm going to add a shader array. Leave the first space open, so empty. Look for gradient shader. Select my shader array and drop it on the second property. Go back to gradient and let's pick some random colors. Perfect, I've got 3 different colors. And check the auto index in the shader array and right click and add value to index property. And as before, we can easily specify where the gradient is being added to by simply switching the value index to 1 and by adding range Falloff. And now I can simply type in different numbers and the Cavalry will select appropriate meshes and apply a gradient to them. And let's try adding maybe a value to position Y, adding another property here. Let's add noise. And we can enter some random numbers. I'm going to use -100 and 100. If I preview the animation, every other shape has a noise applied to it and it moves. But we can control it where it's being applied to using the array index and by adding value to it. Change it to 1. Everything is being affected, but we can limit that with a range Falloff. And you can enter random numbers, for example. So we have few characters jumping up and down, and at the same time, one of them is being affected by the gradient itself. So this is a really cool way of actually stacking different effects on top of each other and being able to target which meshes are being affected. Now, you don't have always select flatten mesh at a level. However, when you're dealing with things like gradient, if I uncheck it, then, well, you will have gradient applied to every single character individually. Now, as a last example, let's go back to the text layer itself. And so far, we have been affecting shapes on the duplicator level. But since this is a text layer, we can affect the mesh directly. So I'm going to add submesh to the text layer. And I'm going to add value array to the rotation. Add another property and change this one to maybe -90. So now every other letter is affected. We can see what is going on when I only enable the text layer. So let's go back to Duplicator itself. And as before, let's add comparison node to the index. And then let's add index context to the first node. And finally, I want to only affect, let's say, fourth letter. In this case, we are using comparison node to pick which letter gets affected with the rotation. We are using the value node with range falloffs to apply gradient to individual characters. And at the same time, we are adding noise to position of only certain shapes inside Duplicator. So hopefully this will give you some ideas on how you can add different effects, different modifiers to different parts of your text inside a Duplicator or on its own. Thanks for watching.